We are experiencing a disastrous winter season here in northern Minnesota.
Tonight, turmoil to the north. The warm weather is causing major headaches and hitting the pocketbooks of resort owners on Minnesota's most popular ice fishing lakes.
And the coronavirus continues spreading. New numbers shed light on the problem as we look at how well Duluth is prepared to handle a potential outbreak.
And later, the Iowa caucuses are right around the corner, what it means for Senator Amy Klobuchar as she gears up for a presidential primary push.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. This winter season is nothing like last year's, and for some resorts, that makes their livelihoods of ice fishing a big issue.
Yeah, especially for those on Lake Winnipesaukee. It's one of Minnesota's largest lakes and is about 30 miles west of Grand Rapids. Our mild weather had made conditions there so bad that many resorts are closing down early, and some tell us they've lost tens of thousands of dollars.
CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with business owners in the area today about how they're hoping local lawmakers will help them bounce back.
Here at High Banks Resort on Lake Winnipesaukee, normally there are over 20 miles of ice roads available for ice anglers. But this year, due to heavy snow and thin ice, owners say they have less than 2 miles available. A barren lake means less money is made for the owners of High Banks Resort.
We are experiencing a disastrous winter season here in northern Minnesota. We've owned High Banks Resort for almost 17 years. We have never seen anything like it.
Poor weather conditions are leading to a lack of business. High Bank Resort owners say they've lost almost $100,000 in business, and they're being forced to close 2 weeks early come March.
But the problem we're having is with so much snow so early, the ground never got any frost, and it's keeping the water warm, and the water is melting the ice as it comes up.
The economic impact is huge. Our summer season is busy as well, but our summer season is 5 months long. And so in 10 to 12 weeks in the winter, we make what it takes 5 months in the summer.
This disaster winter hasn't just impacted those at High Banks. It's hurting many other businesses in the area that we spoke to. It's led them to ask State Senator Justin Eichhorn and other lawmakers for help.
Everyone got a chance to talk. Senator Eichhorn was very, very receptive. He said he will stand by our side and at our back to help get this down to St. Paul.
Okay, we've been coming for at least 6 to 8 years.
And loyal customers hope they can get the help.
If there's anything the state can do to help them, I think it's a wonderful cause. Yeah, for sure.
We know them. They treat us so well. It's such a nice place to come. And that's why we're loyal to them.
High Bank owners say they hope they can get that help fast.
Ice fishermen, of course, want to come to northern Minnesota. They want to explore the great outdoors. They want to be on the ice catching fish. And we can't provide that opportunity to them this winter.
The owners say this process is just getting started in getting a bill drafted. The next step will be to head to the state capitol to testify in front of lawmakers. We did reach out to Senator Eichhorn for comment. We did not hear back by news time.
All right, Dave joins us for a quick look at weather. Dave, it's been so warm, you know, that ice is really having trouble forming safely for a lot of lakes.
Yeah, what we got in early January when it was below zero has disappeared in the last 2 weeks when it's been warmer than normal.
Right.
With February on the horizon here, tomorrow, a matter of hours here, we are going to cool down, but we'll spike temperature-wise the latter half of this weekend. Situation tonight shows a low-pressure system to our south that may keep a slight chance for a rain-snow mix going through tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow should be on the mostly cloudy side but dry side for most areas, but up north there's still a chance for a little bit of lingering precipitation. So the odds for the mix tonight, 30%. Most of us get the mostly cloudy sky on Saturday with a high near 32. Although, again, near the Canadian border, the mix may last a little bit longer. Sunday, most towns may come up mostly sunny, though, again, the mix may last up near the Canadian border. Sunday's high will hit 40 degrees. That's not good for ice. But by Tuesday, some towns up north there especially could slip below zero for overnight lows. For how long and how low, we'll talk about coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. The coronavirus outbreak is now declared a public health emergency in the United States. The U.S. now has 7 confirmed cases of the deadly virus.
More than 250 people in China have died, where nearly 12,000 people are infected. While there aren't any cases in Minnesota, hospitals in the Northland say they're equipped to handle these types of situations.
CBS3's Jenna Wells spoke with a local doctor about their plan.
There are now 2 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the Midwest, a husband and wife in Illinois.
This second case did not travel to China, making this the first person-to-person transmission of the novel coronavirus in the United States.
There are no confirmed cases here in Minnesota, but hospitals in the Northland say they're prepared for any viral epidemic that could come our way.
We've had these plans in place for some time about how to handle patient flow, how to evaluate patients if there were a huge influx, how to change airflows in certain wings of the hospital to protect other patients, and how to protect our staff.
Dr. Andrew Thompson with St. Luke's in Duluth says they're asking patients with respiratory issues or a fever to wear a mask until they're seen by a provider. They also have a plan for any patients with consistent symptoms and a travel history in China.
We would work with the Department of Health at the state, arrange testing, and probably keep that patient in some isolation until we could either confirm or rule out the presence of a new coronavirus.
Dr. Thompson says the coronavirus is a disease that spreads similar to the flu. He says public health departments decide when to take action.
If we know there are no identified cases in Minnesota, the probability that someone walking into clinic has it is pretty low. If we know that it's widespread, then our level of concern rises. So their monitoring and reporting makes a huge difference.
Dr. Thompson says the risk of the coronavirus to the general public is still quite low, and it's important to protect yourself from the most common viral disease.
It remains to be seen how widespread this new coronavirus is. We have to take it seriously, but we know that flu is in our area, so get your flu shot, stay home if you're sick, don't infect other people.
Minnesota DFL Representative Liz Olson is seeking funding for the Mission Creek project. That's along Highway 23 in the Fond du Lac neighborhood of Duluth. In 2017, MnDOT crews working on a bridge replacement project uncovered native burial remains, prompting crews to stop work and begin restoration efforts. Olson's bill requests $4.5 million to cover design, engineering, and reconstruction or replacement of the bridge. Design plans for the project were unveiled earlier this month.
Minnesota regulators have opened a hearing on whether to approve an updated environmental review for Enbridge Energy's plan to replace its Line 3 pipeline. Most of today's testimony strayed far beyond the narrow official scope of the proceedings into the broader questions of whether the project should even be built. Environmental and tribal activists urged the PUC to reconsider its earlier approval and kill the project. However, the project supporters testified that it's time to let Enbridge complete the $2.6 billion project. Now, that hearing will continue on Monday.
The first American Indian to serve on Minnesota's highest court took time to inspire Duluth-Denfeld students today.
CBS3's Alex Libby listened to the state Supreme Court justice's speech and has the story.
Justice Ann McCagg, a descendant of the White Earth Nation, grew up in northern Minnesota and says her background has helped shape her into the person she is today.
You are from northern Minnesota. You are from the best part of the state. And I don't give a damn what people tell you. You can do anything you put your mind to it.
She shared that message with students at Duluth-Denfeld, hoping to inspire teens to follow their dreams.
You're going to learn that job. You're going to do the best that you can. And you're going to know that you're making a difference.
Students, especially those with ties to indigenous cultures, say her words and positivity are infectious.
And I just love that. Like, I feed off of others' positivity, so I'll remember her positivity.
Seeing a woman who has overcame boundaries is something that motivates Denfeld student Kamari Stringer.
It's nice seeing women do stuff, definitely like a diverse women, and like just seeing like there is a path to like still be paved out, but that it's possible.
McCagg says her favorite part about her job is speaking to young adults, and she wants to leave them with this message.
You don't have to do something big and flashy to be successful. As long as you're happy and doing the best that you can do, that's all that matters.
Still to come, how Iowa became first. As the state prepares for some national attention ahead of the caucuses, we take a look at how the state became the first measuring stick for presidential hopefuls.
48 is today's record highest from 1892. Come Sunday, we'll be into the 40s, at least some towns around here, but not for long. After that, The cool down finally comes after our 2-week warm spell, and we'll talk more about it after the break.
It's Super Saturday and Sunday at Home Furniture. Save an extra 15% off sale prices. Register online or in-store to win one of 3 $5,000 room packages. $250,000 in savings and giveaways. Super Saturday and Sunday, only at Home Furniture.
Dear road rivals, I hope you like second place, because first place is all mine. You see, AMCI testing certified that I have better traction up steep hills than the Honda CR-V. I'm a stickler for really good traction, and I won't let go of my grip on first place anytime soon. Sorry, not sorry. RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
You'll have the greatest health care ever. Those pre-existing conditions are You'll be spending a lot less money for much, much better health care.
As mayor, Mike Bloomberg helped expand coverage for 700,000 more New Yorkers. As president, everyone will have access to affordable care. He'll cap health care costs and ban surprise medical bills. Real plans, not empty promises.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Heavenly hand cream. Heavenly hand cream? My hands get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief of dry, cracked hands. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my hands back.
Northland, when you want the most new country, make the switch to Cat Country 98.9 KTCO.
Never met a girl like you. What makes you country?
#1 for the most new country.
So I get up around 2:30 in the morning, making sure my baby is okay before I head out the door.
Still a little tough at times, but you know what? It's something I wanted to do since I was a kid, and I do it every day.
But I'm always asking questions. I want to get down to the nitty-gritty of, where that thought came from, what happened, why it happened.
Living up here my whole life, I kind of know it could be very nice one minute, the next minute it's going to be thunderstorming, and you don't want to be caught off guard.
I can't picture myself doing anything else.
CBS3 Mornings with Leanne and Austin. Get to know us.
It's Super Saturday and Sunday at Home Furniture. Save an extra 15% off sale prices. Register online or in-store to win one of 3 $5,000 room packages. $250,000 in savings and giveaways. Super Saturday and Sunday, only at Home Furniture.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
There are a lot of things going on this weekend. Winter Wonderland, that's our region. Skiing and Sliding Festival up there in Palo and close by Aurora. That's always a good time. Finns and everybody invited to check it out. Here in the Twin Ports, Bayfront Park, Cold Front Festival's going on here in Duluth. That's always a fun time as well. And over across the border in Wisconsin, if you need to learn to ski, everyone needs to learn to ski. Over towards Brew River Forest at the after-hours trailhead there tomorrow afternoon. Free lessons there. Get out and enjoy the weather because it's not going to be too bad. I don't think anybody is going to be freezing to death because our warm spell is continuing for another pair of days before it fades away beginning on Monday. And we'll talk about our dial down in temperatures after we take a look at what's happening right now at the airport in Duluth. The current temp is 29 degrees. The sky is still cloudy. Likely will stay that way through tomorrow. Come Sunday, though, there is a chance for some sun. The wind currently is southwesterly going 16 miles per hour, relative humidity 85%, and air pressure 29.87. Current regional temperatures, well, around our area, they are hoping to come down a little bit here as our night goes on. But right now, they're on the warmer side in International Falls at 29, also 29 in Hermantown, 30 still in Moose Lake, and Two Harbors as well. 32 Superior, 30 in Hayward, 31 Ashland, and 28 to 29 in the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, temperatures are starting to spike upwards again. It's been warmer than normal for 2 weeks. And Sunday, like I've been saying, that's going to be the big finish to the warm spell, where 40 is possible, especially around the head of the lakes and into northwestern Wisconsin. Come Monday, temperatures will step back towards normal and then try to stay that way for a couple of days. Well, we're going to move on here and take a look at what's happening as far as current conditions go with our satellite and Doppler map. If this clicker will cooperate, there it goes finally. Cloudier sky in place because of the lower pressure here. And the lower pressure could bring another chance for some mixes here tonight to our region. 30% shot for a little more of that. But once we get through tomorrow, sunshine may come across in the afternoon on Sunday, thanks to a short visit from some higher pressure. Now, let's get a look at the forecast here coming up for the week ahead. And that forecast says in Minnesota, the low temps will be in the upper teens inland, maybe the lower 20s right by the lake. Getting over towards Wisconsin and Michigan, low temps there run about 22 to 25 degrees with a 30% chance of a mix there as well. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, mostly cloudy sky, high temps as warm as the mid-30s as the warm spell starts to wrap itself up. In Minnesota, 30% chance for a mix up north, mostly cloudy down south, and high temps in the 30s. And if you think that's mild because the normal is 20-21, well, once we get into Sunday, yep, 40 degrees. And I think the high pressure cell could make sunshine for most towns, though near the Canadian border, those clouds just might try to cling to the sky and even kick out another chance for a mini mix. But then come Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when the cool down hits. Anthony and Kristen, overnight low temp single digits above zero, daytime highs only the upper teens.
All right, thanks, Dave. During some of the last crucial days before the Iowa caucuses, one candidate who might need success more than anyone is Minnesota U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. She has to be in Washington as a juror in President Trump's impeachment trial. While she hasn't been able to hit the campaign trail as much as she'd like, tonight Klobuchar earned an endorsement from the Iowa City Press Citizen. Our local political analyst, Dr. Cindy Rugeley from UMD, says this could be a make-or-break moment for Klobuchar.
If she gets up in there in that 16-17% range, finishes third or fourth, she's done very well. If she stays down there in what some polls are saying, that 4 to 6 to 8% range, she's probably done as a candidate.
Rugeley says Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are likely to come out with the most delegates in Iowa.
And speaking of the Iowa caucus, preparations are underway right now for that big event.
It's a major step on the campaign trail for presidential hopefuls and the first measuring stick for where the candidates stand against the others.
Yeah, a unique showcase in Des Moines where that's being held tells us how Iowa gained its First Nation status. KWWL's Taylor Vessel reports from Des Moines.
With the exception of one election, Iowa has always held a caucus. It's a quirky bit of history as to why we go first, something many attribute to President Carter. I stopped by a state museum Friday, curious how it happened. First in the nation.
And it just happened that Iowa was the first date.
That's the name of this exhibit at the State Historical Building in Des Moines.
And it really unpacks the story of how Iowa became such a big deal in this whole process for choosing the leader of the free world.
While caucuses have occurred in Iowa since it gained statehood, they weren't always so popular.
It wasn't really until 1976 when Governor Jimmy Carter came in from Georgia and saw this as an opportunity to increase his name recognition and use the Iowa caucuses as a springboard for national recognition.
Michael Moraine showed us around the exhibit, toting artifacts both new and old.
You know, one of my favorite artifacts is a VHS tape from 1988 from the Pat Robertson campaign. And it's a reminder that the caucuses, technology evolves every 4 years, and so it's a good benchmark to see how technology shapes the way we campaign. But in addition to that, there's also really low tech. We have buttons here from the 1860s that don't look that much different than buttons that we are still making today.
It's what comes next that keeps the museum's focus.
Every caucus cycle, we are sort of scavengers. So after a rally or something, we'll sort of sweep through and collect signs, collect buttons, collect things that will be useful to curators 50 years from now. Because at this point, we don't know what future historians will be most interested in. So we collect it all and do our best to tell the story of Iowa in 2020.
The exhibit has so many stories and details, like must-stop visit for candidates so they can connect with Iowa voters, to antique political souvenirs, like a glass teacup from 1860, the same year President Lincoln was elected. Reporting in Des Moines, I'm Taylor Vessel.
And hey, be sure to tune into the CBS 3 News at 6 and 10 on Monday. We will be live in Des Moines, Iowa for that event, bringing you the most up-to-date coverage of the caucuses.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, voted down. No witnesses will be called to testify in the impeachment trial. What it means for the president's chances of acquittal.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership. Same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
You gotta feel it to believe it.
Get Extreme Internet starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. With fantastic speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Dynamic streaming video, so real you can feel it. Amplified in-home Wi-Fi and all the power you need to power it all. Get Extreme Internet starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. Call 844-EXTREME2.
Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, Perfecto. With an extra long shell, it gives you the best bite every bite. Chicken, beef, or hand-carved sirloin steak. The Taco Perfecto. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
This Valentine's Day, Numi Jewelers is featuring 2 ways to a woman's heart. A real rose trimmed in pure 24-karat gold that lasts forever, and a pendant necklace for just $99. True love is guaranteed at Numi Jewelers.
Honey, will you come help me with supper? Your parents are going to be here soon. Did you seriously forget to order the propane?
No more runouts, no more hassle. Enroll in Superior Fuel's Monitor Delivery Program and let Superior Fuel take the pain out of propane.
We brought in the biggest Beyond Meat fan we know as our newest employee to help introduce our new Beyond Sausage Sandwich.
You want that plant-based great taste? Fresh out the oven. Employee of the month is at it again, y'all.
Available nationwide, only at Dunkin'.
Click Link for savings. Link Ford. Click it from your office, click it from home, click it anywhere. Click linkmotors.com first to save thousands on a huge selection of new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Or click linkmotors.com to shop over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles under $20,000. Click Link Motors to get pre-approved with our fast and easy credit approval program. Click Link for the best variety of new vehicles and huge pre-owned selection. Link Ford in Rice Lake or Minong, where reputation is everything.
Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with live local CBS3.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
The Trump-imposed rule that has hospitals threatening to sue. And it becomes this big political thing. And you know who's forgotten? The patients. You doctors.
Friday at 9 on CBS3.
Senate Republicans defeated a motion to call new witnesses in the impeachment trial.
This comes after Republicans then agreed to close arguments and hold a final vote next week on whether to remove President Trump from office.
Katherine Johnson is on Capitol Hill with more.
The yeas are 49. The nays are 51. The motion is not agreed to.
The Republican-controlled Senate voted against additional witnesses in the impeachment trial of President Trump.
Mr. Majority Leader?
After the vote, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell tried but did not have the support to end the trial with an immediate vote on whether to acquit or convict the president. Senators agreed to hold closing arguments Monday and a final vote Wednesday.
If the president is acquitted with no witnesses, no documents, the acquittal will have no value, because Americans will know that this trial was not a real trial.
The debate over witnesses dominated the closing arguments from House managers and the president's lawyers.
You've heard from a lot of witnesses. Even with all of those witnesses, it doesn't prove up an impeachable offense. The articles fail.
Before Friday's session began, the New York Times dropped another revelation from former National Security Advisor John Bolton's upcoming memoir.
According to the report, Bolton writes that President Trump directed him in early May to call then-Ukrainian President-elect Volodymyr Zelensky to urge him to meet with Rudy Giuliani, who planned to discuss investigations into the Democrats. The president's request allegedly came during an Oval Office meeting. President Trump denied the claim in a statement, saying that meeting never happened.
All right, let's turn to sports now. Neil is here with a look at, I'm assuming, some hockey. Some UMD hockey?
Yes, yeah. Of course. We've got some big-time matchups on the docket. Another key NCHC matchup for the UMD men's hockey team as they met up with the Pioneers out in Denver. Highlights coming up right after the break.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough.
You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle, often falsely claiming they were dispatched by the police or an insurance company. Be wary of any unsolicited tow truck that arrives on the scene of an accident. In fact, in some places, it's illegal. Motorists should not feel pressured to agree to a tow. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. Always get the price and terms in writing along with the location of the tow yard before letting a tow truck driver hook up your vehicle and take it away. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB, or visit our website, www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. The smoke is still really heavy. You can smell it.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
Anytime, day or night.
And while this is a very active scene, the public is being asked to stay away from the area.
Good afternoon. I'm Kristen Bakke. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news out of Cloquet this morning. CBS3 first got word of this fire and went to the scene at around 3:30.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I must give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
So I get up around 2:30 in the morning, making sure my baby is okay before I head out the door.
Still a little tough at times, but you know what? It's something I wanted to do since I was a kid, and I do it every day.
But I'm always asking questions. I want to get down to the nitty-gritty of, where that thought came from, what happened, why it happened.
Living up here my whole life, I kind of know it could be very nice one minute, the next minute it's going to be thunderstorming, and you don't want to be caught off guard.
I can't picture myself doing anything else.
CBS3 Mornings with Leanne and Austin. Get to know us.
In front, it bounces to Swain. He goes across to Ruff. They score! Here they come again. Perunovic with it. Gives it to Noah Cates. To the far side. Ruff. They score! Perunovic near side circle. Far side Jackson. Now Noah Cates. Noah shot score!
My Nine Sports is your home for Bulldog hockey. Thank you for being with us over the last decade. And as always, go Bulldogs!
As the regular season winds down, the 9th-ranked UMD women's hockey team is looking to play catch-up in the WCHA standings. That started tonight on the road at number 2 Minnesota. Bulldogs 13-point back of the Gophers. First period, you'll want to remember this name from Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar on the power play. Klobuchar gets the feed from Emily Brown and hits the back of the net. Gophers take a 1-0 lead. Still in the first, it's Klobuchar again with it on the 2-on-1. She feeds it to Emily Oden, who gets a shot off. Klobuchar collects the rebound and puts it in. And one more from Klobuchar. She gets the feed, takes a shot from the slot, and it works out nicely. The hat trick from Klobuchar is solidified in the first period. Gophers add one more in the second. It's Oden this time that cleans it up. They lead 4-0 at that point. Gophers shut out the Bulldogs 5-0. For the second consecutive weekend, the UMD men's hockey team once again met up with an NCHC powerhouse. This time it's the 4th-ranked Denver Pioneers. Denver second in the conference standings with UMD right behind at number 3. Almost to the midway point of the first, UMD on the power play, and Nick Swaney with the wraparound goal. And it's 1-0 UMD. Later, now 1-1, and under 10 seconds left in the period. Bulldogs back on the power play. Justin Richards puts away the rebound to give the Bulldogs the lead yet again. To the second, UMD again on the man advantage, and Scott Perunovic feeds it to Cole Koepke, who unleashes a bullet into the back of the net. 3-2 UMD, and at last check, UMD still leads 3-2 in the third. More college hockey in Division III. St. Scholastica hosting St. Norbert. Saints already up 2-0. Peter Bates gets a pass at the blue line and rips it past the Saints goaltender to cut it to 2-1. Green Knights back on the attack. Bates feeds Kurt Black, but Jack Branby with a remarkable save to keep the Saints in front. Closing moments of the first shot from the point, and Bradley Golantz is left wide alone and buries the rebound to give CSS a 3-1 lead, but St. Norbert battles back for the 5-4 win. It's been a long time since the Proctor girls basketball team dropped a game, December 14th to be exact. The Rails look to keep it that way when they welcomed in Duluth Denfeld, the team riding a 12-game win streak. First half, Rails up 5. Liz Fraze gets it down low and puts it right back up for 2. Proctor up 7. Later on, Hunter's trying to battle back. Lexi Lewinsky with the corner 3. Denfeld within 7, but Proctor just too much in this one. Sam Pagachnik drives to the hoop, and the foul. Proctor keeps rolling, 90-30, the final. Duluth Marshall hoping to rebound from just their 4th loss of the season last night. Hosting Royalton, first half, Gianna Neepkins kicks it out to a wide-open Maritza Harris, who buries the corner 3. Hilltoppers up early, still in the first. Neepkins in transition, stops and pulls up from 5 feet, knocks it down while getting fouled. Marshall retakes the lead. A little later, Grace Kirk gets a screen and finds herself wide open and joins the 3-party. Marshall wins a close one, 72-71. Finally, in the NBA, the top-seeded Bucks continue their homestand, taking on the Nuggets. The game began with something familiar but unfamiliar, a Antetokounmpo dunk, but it didn't come from Giannis. His brother Thanasis got the start and dunks it home, 4-0 Bucks. Later in the quarter, Chris Middleton with his 3rd triple so far, an 8-point Bucks lead at that point, but a big second half propels the Nuggets over the Bucks, 127-115. Now that's all for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health St. Mary's Medical Center. Proud to serve as the Northland's only adult Level 1 trauma center.
We brought in the biggest Beyond Meat fan we know as our newest employee to help introduce our new Beyond Sausage Sandwich.
You want that plant-based great taste? Fresh out the oven. Employee of the month is at it again, y'all.
Available nationwide, only at Dunkin'.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I must give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
When you watch CBS3,
we're bringing you full team coverage tonight to get you all the latest information as the plow driver strike continues and the snow stays in the forecast.
About an hour ago, the Teamsters voted unanimously to ratify that new contract. Let's head over now to CBS3's John Cardinelli, who is joining us live from Eveleth. John.
We will have more information on what this new contract entails for these union plow drivers.
For the coverage you need, tune to live, local CBS3. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for $1 suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
All right, Dave, what's the weather shaping up to be like for the weekend?
Bit of a mixed bag this weekend. Clouds for everybody tomorrow and maybe a little bit more mix up north. High temp 32. Sunday, Much of the area may get a clear to partly cloudy sky, though a little bit of lower pressure could linger near the border. And up around International Falls, still a cloudy day with a bit of a spritzy mix there as well. Sounds like a drink. And getting into Monday, we start to cool down, and then it could be fairly chilly by Tuesday morning.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next month.